All right, let's watch this video for Friday. Can you believe Friday's here already? Friday, May 19th. Showing you a SPY. It wasn't the end of the world after all. Decent bounce in the market, albeit on lower volume and didn't completely retrace the sell-off. So things are moving a little better in my opinion though. So trading's getting a little better. Here's what I have for the watch list for Friday. SRPT, a little extra volume spike there. If I switch to 15s, you can I think you can kind of see the pop better. Maybe they're on 5s. You can see the big pop, pull back, another push. So anyway, this is not my favorite stock to trade, but it did kind of give a nice little engulfing candle, or almost engulfing. I don't know if I'm wording that right, but anyway, a little extra volume. Let's watch that for some follow-through. Had some good news today. GLYC, man, this thing just took off. It was on our gap playlist, and I'm going to show you something here. It's either going to make me sound like a genius or an idiot, probably the latter. Let me go to 1 minute candles here and show you what it looked like. I can't remember if I was projecting the chart or not. When it looked like this, I said over the microphone to the chat room that in theory, this could be what we call one of our Tokyo trades right here around 820. And I wouldn't let my stop be all the way down here. My stop would be below 8, right? So it's fairly narrow risk. And the reason I say this is either going to make me sound like a genius, see what it did? Or a moron is my theory was right. I gave the idea out around 820, stop at 799, and the reason it makes me sound like a moron is because I didn't take it, didn't even nibble. I'd already had my daily goal in the bank and walked away, so to speak, from a monster winner, right? And if you look at it now on 5 minute candles with the day over, look at this. The entry would have been right about here, and the stop right about there. For me, I kind of felt like it had already run too far, and I felt like I was chasing. Anyway, it goes on watch for tomorrow. And really, anytime you get a move like this, 36 million shares, massive breakout, this one just has to be on watch for the next week or so. So I'm hoping to catch some good trades in it, although I blew it today. CCCR, had this huge move back here, nice secondary move, then looked like it was rolling over. And really pretty good relative strength if you consider how bad the market got hit yesterday. It gave a lot of it back. But then today, today's range inside of yesterday's range. So this one really looks good over that 260 area. So I really want to keep my eyes on CCCR. It can really move at times. Lower float Chinese stock. NADL. I'm not in love with this, but if you picture a trend line here, follow my mouse. It's really coiling. And so up over like this high here was 289. This high here, 288. So if you get up into the 290s, I could see this ripping through 3, maybe taking out these kind of lower highs after this pop and maybe breaking out. So I think NADL is worth having on watch. It's certainly holding up well, holding the 20-day really well, and might just break out of this kind of flag pattern to the upside one of these days. So it goes on watch. CASC, you can see the resistance here at 450, right? It hit it here, 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 and then finally broke through today. I wasn't even watching this thing, but I think it's worth putting on watch tomorrow to see if we get a red to green or something. Today is kind of day one of a breakout, if you really want to look at it that way, through 450. And so maybe we get some kind of setup tomorrow. All right, that's feels a little bit like chasing whenever it's the day after the breakout. But sometimes you get a nice red to green and the thing just continues ripping. So that's CASC. CBI goes back on bounce watch again. A little bit of a bottoming tail now. Nice volume today. I didn't catch a trade in this one today. It didn't give any kind of a clean setup unless you use 60-minute candles. It gave a pretty clean 60-minute buy setup there. It's generally not how I trade. But you see some nice volume coming in near the end of the day. So maybe this thing's put in a bottom. We'll see if we get a low-risk setup tomorrow. Hertz goes back on watch again. HTZ. Now we're kind of nicely below 10. A couple more red days. That one still, like I keep saying, value players are going to step in one of these days and we'll catch a nice trade, hopefully. But I've had no trades in it since I started watching it. It's still going to stay on watch. CETX gapped up on good news yesterday, and then today just puts in a lower high. It's kind of interesting to get back up through 4 maybe tomorrow on volume. We'll watch it. It's got a lower float, so I think it's worth having on watch. And then lastly, SGMO, which I had on bounce watch today if you watched my video last night. And then in the last 30 minutes or so, it really took off, and I missed it. I actually, when it was right about here, I said, hey, this SGMO, actually it looked like this, SGMO, I typed in the room, it looks like it's closing strong, and it just kept going. I never caught a trade in it, though. Anyway, that's a pretty good engulfing candle. Engulfed yesterday's trading. this one just might continue higher. It is super strong. So kind of a short list going into Friday, which is fine. Hopefully we'll catch some gappers as well. And I'm going to leave the list at that. Enjoy your evening. We'll see everybody tomorrow.